to Conversations with Claudia. Today I'm here with Alexa von Tobel. She is the founder and CEO of Learnvest.com, which is the leading personal finance and lifestyle site for women. In 2009, Alexa raised her first round of financing, $1.1 million from angel investors. And then just 2 years later, she has raised over $24.5 million. So she's been busy. She's received tons of accolades from the press. I have to read this because the list is so long. She's been named one of the coolest young entrepreneurs in Inc. magazine's 30 Under 30. She's a woman to watch by Forbes magazine, one of 18 women changing the world according to Marie Claire magazine, and recently a 2011 Young Global Leader by the World Economic Forum. Wow. And there's like 100 more that I didn't list. So congratulations, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you, thanks for having me.
We were just talking earlier about the start of all of this. Can you give us the background and how you ended up here?
My senior year, when I was graduating from Harvard, I had gotten into Harvard Business School and had deferred for 2 years, and I decided to go work on Wall Street, and it was pretty simple. I was sitting around with a bunch of my friends, and I just was thinking about all the things that were going to affect my happiness in my life, and figuring out, how was I going to make sure that I'm really taken care of and thoughtful about my future. And one of the things I just kept feeling like I didn't have a good grasp on was personal finance. So it wasn't like I was bad at finance. I just didn't understand some of the basics of personal finance. Things like, how does a credit score work exactly? And how do I make sure I don't hurt mine? Or what do I do with taxes? Or how do I need to think about my budget if I'm going to make $60,000, what does that really mean that I'm taking home? Personal finance isn't taught in high schools or colleges across the United States, yet it affects every single person's life, every single person in this room, in America. We make about 6 to 10 money decisions every day, and if we don't have any guidance, how are we supposed to not make mistakes? I ended up going back to Harvard Business School in the fall of 2008 when Lehman Brothers was going under, the world was falling apart, and it wasn't rocket science again. I just said, wow, so many people are so worried about this. If I'm going to do this, it has to be now. And so I ended up leaving.
What timing, too, with the 2008 crash, right? That's a big sign.
It's a huge sign. So I ended up leaving and taking a leave of absence from Harvard Business School and started by myself with my little business plan to start raising money, and it was pretty scary.
Wow. So it was just you, and a business plan. And now, 2.5 years later, $24.5 million raised later, huge team, amazing board, launched with amazing tools. How are you feeling right now?
It's like running the longest marathon of your life. You have to keep your head down and stay focused because there's so much more to do.
What is your role now as a CEO in terms of, vision?
Learnvest, the leading site for women and their money online. We have a few products. We have a daily newsletter that you get for free every day. There's just lessons that teach you how to get out of debt, or how to do investing level 1, or how do you cut your costs. We then launched a suite of products so you can link all your financial accounts to Learnvest for free because we wanted you to know where all your money is. And then we really launched the first ever subscription model for getting financial advice, and you can actually pay just $5 a day and talk to an expert, or $30 to $40 for 3 months. And the logic there, so you asked what my day-to-day role is we're still building and inventing the products to help this problem, which is financial planning should not be a luxury here in the United States. For people who don't have a ton of money, there's no good resources, and arguably, when you have less money, you need more help because you're trying to figure out what dollar should go where and how. And so we're making, and I genuinely feel like we're disrupting the financial planning space to really bring obvious, modern, accessible tools to help make sure that you make the right decisions for your money.
You need to do that first. Now you have the resources, and now you can sort of spend the time and say, okay, what is the Learnvest brand to women? Yeah. And how are we going to innovate? How are we going to offer, what is our consumer experience and value proposition going to be? Because that's what it's all about.
So I very much so focus on the product almost still every single day, and that means lots of different things at different times, whether it's the legal aspect of the product or the user experience. But I also try to talk to anywhere from 3 to 8 users every single day, literally just listening, or I read every feedback email so that I know where is the pulse of our user and how do we make their lives better.
It's so smart.
And I am living and breathing our product.
Women control, 80+% of spend, of purchase power. We pretty much control consumerism, and we love spending money and having money to buy all the wonderful things that you and I are wearing and doing. So why is it that women are so, why are they so terrified of managing their finances?
I always say everyone needs help with money. Young, old, rich, poor, male, female. educated or not, everyone needs help. And I don't think that this problem is particular to women. And then you have a lot of really powerful things that are happening to women in the United States right now, which is women are getting married later. More women are graduating from graduate schools. There's a great stat that as of 2010, women control 60% of the wealth in America. You then have divorce at an all-time high. 25% of moms in America are single moms. And then you have women outliving men on average about 6.2 years. So what you have is a lot of women who are like, I should probably make sure that this is a topic that I just don't close the door on and walk away from. And so I wanted Learnvest to be that brand that makes money accessible for that huge audience that's so powerful that is controlling all those spending decisions. So that's it. So just like you have Curves Gym that's out there that is a great gym that's really designed towards women, or Weight Watchers, which everyone needs to lose weight, but Weight Watchers really caters to women. Learnvest, anyone can use it, but we're really catering towards this audience.
I love it, Weight Watchers for your personal finances.
I like Weight Watchers for money.
I love it.
Just in the last 8 months alone, I've talked to more than 5,000 women in detail about how they think about money. And what I found is no one knows where to start. You're underneath my paycheck, managing my career, I'm dealing with debt, I'm dealing with all my credit cards. What types of insurance do I need? Health insurance, dental insurance, renters, homeowners. And then you add another person, like a significant other, and you're trying to manage all of that with them. It's complicated.
You leave it to the very end. I'll do that on Sunday. I'll do that on Friday.
It's very easy to just want to close the door on. So we break it down. So for example, a lot of the content on Learnvest is broken into 3 major pillars, which is earn, save, and spend. Those are the 3 things. More money needs to come in. When you have it, you need to make sure you do the right things with it. And then when you're spending, you need to spend as wisely as possible. So it's really that simple. If you want to be better at money, you either have to make more or spend less. And so that's why Learnvest content, it's really great. It gave us a lot of moving space to be able to be a real lifestyle brand, because we're going to tell you you're going to spend, and that's okay. We need to spend to live. We have to eat, we have to pay rent, we have to travel. And so we're going to make sure that you feel comfortable doing those things, but let's just make you smarter when you do them. I always joke that in the future I'm going to write a book called No One Feels Good About Money, because after talking to the now almost 10,000 people I have in building Learnvest, I've never had someone be like, you know what, I'm so good with my money, I don't need any help, I'm all set. Everyone feels ashamed or insecure, or like they don't have all the answers, and it's amazing. I've had, Goldman Sachs employees down to a woman who has never gotten an education in her life, not even like high school education, and their questions are the same. So I love that we get to level the playing field and make everyone just feel like they're starting from square one and really get started. We all need help, and we need a trusted source that's on our side.
Are you sleeping? How are you managing this lifestyle? I mean, it's crazy. I've been there, and you're there on such an even bigger level. So
I've had a lot of people ask me about sort of what my tricks to making it work are, and I humbly would say I don't know that I have figured anything out. But what I will say is, so I don't sleep that much in general. I've never been a big sleeper. But what I do is I try to be as efficient as possible. So I live a few blocks from the office. I wake up, I throw on my clothes, I'm at the office in under 10 minutes. And then when I'm there, I'm there. I don't leave for lunch, I don't run errands, I don't do anything. So let's say I get to the office at 8:30 and I'm there till 8:30 at night. I will work for 12 hours straight, no personal phone calls, nothing. And I try to schedule everything down to about 15-minute increments. And it's just because that's how I get through my day, so that when I leave, I can breathe fresh air, I can walk home, I can watch some TV, I can go to the gym, I can do what I need to do to have a personal life. But if you have any tricks, I know you have managed a lot of things before.
Yeah.
I will take any pieces of advice.
That's a conversation for a cocktail. Yeah. No, for sure. We're going to talk a lot about that. What I'm curious about too is sort of your mental patterns, right? Because as women, we're very self-analytical, and you not only have to answer to your whole team, which is like 25 growing to 50 soon, and then you've got your board, you've got so many investors, you've got so many people to answer to, and friends that you have to return emails to, and so mentally, how is it for you mentally right now?
I'm the happiest I've ever been, and it's because I live and breathe what I love to do. So that is a huge thing. I've been in jobs that I haven't loved as much, and that's what's stressful, is when you're not in your lane doing the things that you're made to do. So first, it's actually really freeing, because I'm living and breathing something that I want to build and I'm so passionate about that I don't care if everything fell apart, I would still probably be this happy, because I believe so much in what we're building. So anyways, it's actually really freeing, despite the fact that like there is a lot of pressure and there's a lot of things to do. And what I will say is we've been in a very fortunate place where we got to pick our investors because we always had multiple options. And I literally think of our investors as, I mean, at this point, they feel sometimes like family because I see them so much. But they really believe in what we're doing as well. So they're not just around it. It's not about building a business to make money for them. It's also like, this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience to really change people's lives, build a business that people believe in, a brand that really can have a lot of standing power for the future, and actually be a really solid company. I honestly feel like it's the biggest privilege ever because it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
And that is such a common theme that I keep on hearing from everyone that I'm interviewing, which is passion. We're going to work hard no matter what we do, but if you choose the thing that you're the most passionate, that's what's in your heart, and what you care about, and you believe there's a greater good that you're doing here, you'll work your butt off and be so happy doing it. A lot of women might think, oh, I'm going to have my own business, and it's great, but it's, the hard work is hardcore.
It's
a lifestyle that you pick.
There have been plenty of nights where I walked home with like tears streaming down my face, like super stressed out about things. So I never want to like give the misconception that things come really easily.
Which brings me to, if you were to give advice to someone, a young woman who is starting a new business and in startup mode from scratch, maybe with a little bit of savings to get her going, and you were to give her sort of top 3 pieces of advice, what would those 3 tips be?
My first thing is right now, like running a startup is like very in vogue, if you will, and I would say don't take any leap to running your own business until you put in the legwork to make sure it's going to work. The worst thing that you could do is take a big leap, let's say drop out of business school or spend some of your savings or quit your job and then go to run something that you're not sure if it's going to work. And you don't have to be 100% sure, but you have to have done enough research and talk to enough experts in the space or in the field to know that this idea isn't terrible. The second big piece of advice I would say is if you can mix something that you're really skilled at with something that you truly believe in and you're passionate about, that's what gives that extra little edge where I'll stay a little bit later even when I'm so bone tired, or I will make us triple check something that doesn't need to be triple checked because I just want to make sure it's that right, or wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to do TV interviews even though I haven't slept, and it's just because I believe in it. And I know when I'm 90 and I look back at my life, I'm going to be really proud of where I am, even if we don't have one more day of success. And then the third thing I would say is have a really good group of people around you to support you that are not involved in the business, because sometimes you just need to come home and you just need like a hug because you had a terrible day, or you need like chocolate chip cookies, which are a really good cure if you're having a bad day. Like a bucket of wine.
So then I have to ask, in terms of support system and sort of people that you surround yourself with that are outside of the business that really do nurture you, who are they?
I have an incredible family. I have 2 older brothers who actually live in this city. And my first cousin is this brilliant, brilliant guy, and he actually sits next to me every day and works with me. And then I just got engaged, as I was saying. My boyfriend is or fiance is this brilliant man who believed in me before I even started. And he was like, you have to do this. This is the right thing to do. And then all my best friends, none of them fault me when I don't show up to things on time or if I don't respond to my emails properly. And they also believe in me, and I'm really, really fortunate to have that. So actually, when it comes to joining finances, this is a true Learnvest tip, which is, first, you got to make sure you sit down and figure out all the things in your life, because if you sat down and put cards in order of how you wanted to spend every dollar you have and what you value, it's not such a spending decision. It's really, what are your values and do they align? And I think it's really important to make sure you're on the same page. So how many kids do you want to have? Are they going to go to private school or are they not? What city do you think you're going to live in? Do you want to make sure that you're close to your family? And all of those things are spending decisions, and you have to make sure that they're in order, because I mean, it's really sad, but like 75% of marriages fight over money aggressively, and it's one of the main causes of divorce. So anyways, I think it's really important to go beyond just the joint account or not, but to really make sure you get on the same page. I mean, Learnvest tagline is where life gets richer, and it's so powerful because money, it's not about money. It's about living whatever best life that you possibly can, and unfortunately, the way that like our lives work, money is pretty critical to that, and making sure that if you need healthcare, you're going to get healthcare, and if you need to travel, we got to make sure you can travel to go see that person that you're dying to see, and we need to just make sure that money is what fuels all of that, and we want to make sure you live your richest life. That's not about being rich, it's about just living the most complete life that you can, and making sure that money is something that you sleep easy on.
Has there been one person in your life that has just really been a true inspiration, that, or your mentor, or somebody that really has helped elevate you to where you are now?
When I started Learnvest, I actually pulled on this woman who was one of the first women partners at Goldman Sachs. Her name's Ann Kaplan, and you know, she's 64, I'm 27, and she's been a real mentor to me around a lot of things. Another thing is, like, I love my board. Like, they treat me so well, and it's because I have genuine relationships with all of them. It's not like a business relationship. They're really mentors to me. Another woman on our board is Teresa Gower-Nzetta, who's at Excel, and I mean, she's one of the most fabulous women I've ever met. She walks into a room and she looks like a model and is smarter than any woman I've sat next to, and again, you know, we have a genuine relationship. I once read this book. It was Richard Branson's autobiography, and every single time things got tough, he just got deeper and made an even bigger decision. And I read it when I dropped out, and a good friend gave it to me when I was in business school, and I read it, and it was Liquid Courage. And then I actually got to meet Richard Branson. I went down to his island, and seeing someone who just lives really so full of life, and all of those things, little pieces of all of that, has really helped shape who I am.
Well, Alexa, I feel even richer now that I've had this hour with you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here today and having a conversation with Claudia.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.